There's a special kind of love that brings smiles on your face, bringing tears of joy down your eyes. Overwhelming, only true love. And anytime I wanna cry,
Please subscribe. In those days, when the moonlight bathed the thatched roofs of Agbenu, my children, gather round and listen, for this is not a tale told by strangers. It is a story of blood and betrayal, of a promise broken and a child's innocence lost in the cruel hands of deceit. This is the story of Tobo, a little girl whose laughter once filled her parents' hearts, until fate carried her away into the jaws of sorrow. In the quiet village of Agbenu, where the evening breeze carried the scent of palm wine and burning firewood, they lived a humble family: Papa Tobo, Mama Tobo, and their 2 children, Tobo and Ok. They were poor, yes, but united by love. Their hut was made of red mud and roofed with thatch, yet within it lived warmth richer than gold. Papa Tobo was a palm fruit taper, a man who climbed the tallest trees for people's wine and earned just enough to buy a bowl of gari for the night. Mama Tobo fetched water for others and washed clothes in exchange for a few cowries. They had little, yet they smiled often. Their children, though raggedly dressed, carried bright dreams in their hearts. Tobo, the elder, was brave and sharp-witted. Ok, her younger brother, adored her like the morning sun. Every dawn, they would trek barefoot to school, holding their torn books on their heads because they had no bags. Often, they went without food, yet Tobo would whisper, "Ok, hunger is not forever. One day, we will eat what we desire." That year, the festival drew near, and with it came a visitor, Auntie Etienne, Papa Tobo's younger sister. She had left the village long ago for the city and had not returned since their parents' burial. When she arrived, the family rejoiced. Tobo danced around her auntie, clapping and laughing, while Mama Tobo hurried to prepare what little meal they had. But Papa Tobo's heart was heavy. He knew they could not afford the kind of food his sister was used to. Still, he welcomed her warmly, for family, my children, is like the root of a tree. You cannot cut it off and still expect the tree to live. That night, under the weak flame of an oil lamp, Auntie Etienne began to speak. "Brother," she said softly, "I can see how hard you struggle. Life in the city is different. Let Tobo come with me. I will put her in a good school, feed her well, and help her become someone great." Her words dripped with honey, but Papa Tobo's spirit trembled. His mind wandered to his own childhood, to the days when his stepmother had beaten him like a drum and fed him sorrow. He remembered the hunger, the loneliness, and the nights he wept into the darkness. "No," he said quietly, "I cannot let my daughter go. The world outside is not kind." But Mama Tobo spoke, her eyes wet with tears. "My husband, poverty has swallowed us. Let the girl go. Maybe our ancestors have sent her destiny through your sister. We cannot keep her here to suffer." Papa Tobo sighed deeply, torn between fear and hope. And that night, while the crickets sang outside, he gave in to fate. Morning of Tobo's departure broke with songs of birds and the smell of wet earth. She packed her few clothes in a small nylon bag. Her brother Oak stood beside her, his lips trembling. "Tobo," he whispered, "who will fight for me now? Who will protect me when our schoolmates mock us for being poor?" Tobo hugged him tightly, her tears wetting his hair. "Don't cry, Oak. You must be strong. I will always be with you, even if you can't see me." Before she left, she ran to the school. There, she wrote 6 small notes and glued them secretly to the classroom walls. Each note bore a warning in her bold handwriting. "To every student, trouble and fight bring sorrow. But if anyone insults or harms my brother Oak, I will rise against the evil from afar. Remember, a stubborn fly follows the corpse into the grave." Then she returned home, ready to begin a new chapter, unaware that she was walking into a trap woven with deceit. When Tobo arrived in the city, Her eyes widened with wonder. The roads were wide, the buildings tall, and lights shone like stars even in daylight. So Auntie has been living in this kind of paradise, she thought. Then surely, my dreams will come true here. But dreams, my children, can be deceptive like the reflection on a river. It looks beautiful until you fall in. Weeks turned into months. Tobo waited patiently for her auntie to take her to school. "Auntie, when will I start school?" she asked one morning. "Soon," her auntie replied, avoiding her eyes. "Don't rush me." Months passed, yet no school appeared. One day, when Tobo pressed again, her auntie turned sharply and shouted, "Are you deaf? I said I will take you. Don't question me." That day, Tobo's heart broke a little. She began to sense the coldness behind her auntie's smile. One evening, Auntie Etienne brought a strange man into the house. His eyes were sharp, his smile unsettling. Tobo, innocent and naive, fetched him water as instructed. That night, her auntie told her, "Tobo, you will sleep in the same room with our guest tonight." Tobo was startled. "But auntie, I don't know him." "Do as I say." Her auntie barked. Fear gripped her like a snake coiling around its prey. She obeyed, trembling. The man entered the room later that night. He lay beside her, his breath heavy with alcohol. "Uncle, please don't touch me," she whispered. But the man silenced her cries, and her world shattered in that single night. When morning came, Tobo confronted her auntie in tears. "Auntie, why did you let that man touch me? I called your name, but you didn't come." Her auntie slapped her so hard that her ears rang. "You useless child. You should be thanking me. Do you think your poor parents could ever send you to school? You will do what I say in this house." From that day, Tobo's life became misery. Her auntie turned her into merchandise, bringing men home, collecting money, and forcing Tobo to do unspeakable things. She was starved when she refused, beaten when she cried, and mocked when she prayed. Far away in the village, her parents smiled each evening, believing their daughter was living in paradise. "Tobo must be enjoying city life," her mother would say, unaware that their little girl was drowning in sorrow. Years passed, and Tobo's laughter was replaced by silence. She grew weak and pale. When her auntie finally took her to the hospital, the doctor shook his head. "She has HIV, he said. But Auntie Etienne showed no remorse. She bought cheap drugs and returned to her life of wealth and deceit, spending the money Tobo had earned in pain. When Tobo could no longer stand, her auntie carried her like a discarded doll back to the village. When Papa and Mama Tobo saw their daughter, their hearts froze. She was a shadow of herself, thin, dry, and weak. "What happened to our child?" her father cried. Auntie Etienne lied boldly. "I spent all my money to send her to a good school, but she became wayward. Now she has brought shame upon us." Papa Tobo's eyes burned with rage. "If my daughter had stayed here, she would still be alive and pure. You are the reason she suffers." The villagers gathered as voices rose. Auntie Etienne shouted insults, calling him wretched and poor, but the truth was already out. "The gods," they say, "see even what men hide in darkness." Tobo died quietly one cold night, whispering her brother's name. "Look, don't let my death be in vain." Her parents wept for months. They cursed the evil that wore the face of kindness. And they swore that whoever caused their daughter's death would never see peace. Years rolled by. O grew into a man. He studied hard, as his sister had always wished, and found work in the city. But he never forgot her. One day, he saw a post online, a woman arrested for trafficking young girls into prostitution. When he opened the photo, it was Auntie Etienne. He traveled immediately, his heart boiling. At the police station, he saw her behind bars, her face pale and ashamed. So you are the one who destroyed my sister, he said bitterly. You turned her into your trade. You took her light and buried it in darkness. Now you will reap what you sow. He turned and walked away. In the village, Oak told his parents what had happened. They wept, not for the wicked auntie, but for their daughter who had loved so deeply. My son, Papa Tobo said, when you have children, never let them live with another. Human beings wear many faces, not all who smile at you mean well. Oak became successful and lifted his parents out of poverty, but the memory of his sister never left him. At every sunset, he would whisper to the wind, "Sleep well, Tobo, my hero, my fighter. You are gone, but your spirit still guards me. My children, remember. Not everyone who promises gold has clean hands. Poverty may wound, but deceit kills the soul. When the gods delay, it is not denial, it is protection. And above all, a promise made in the name of love must never be broken." What did you learn from this story? Drop your lessons in the comment section. Subscribe for more.